we're going to begin. Okay, so let's start out. We're going to start out with sitting, and stretching the legs out, as you have to sit through poetry, and flex and point, and flex and point. Interesting thing about Denise's poem, every time I read it, I get a little more. Every time I read it, I access more of its meaning. It's a really very profound, and it's very layered. So let's start to bring the feet together and lengthen the spine. Excuse me. And just keep your spine upright. So I want to talk about today's class is, maybe I could say, the gift of winter solstice. Winter solstice, a contemplative time, but you know, after Monday, the days start getting longer again. It's barely perceivable, but yes, they get longer. So you're going to round your back, bring your head down. And for today's class, there will be some poses that I've been kind of looking into. What poses are great for the solstice? So you'll see some of those come up. And breathe and exhale. And then we'll stretch the legs again. And we're going to, some need a little blanket if this bothers your tailbone. Maybe you're fine without. And your feet are together. It's core work. And you tuck. So a lot of times poses for solstice, we think, oh, they're going to be restorative, right? Because we do like doing restorative to candles when it's kind of dark out. But actually restorative winter solstice poses are kind of strong, warming poses. So press back, get your feet together, lean back, and then lift up. One more. Exhale slowly back. Good. And then coming up. Good work. And from here, we have tabletop. So fingertips are behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Bend your knees. And press. Press your feet into the mat. Lift your pelvis. Tilt your head back. And breathe. Deep breath in. And exhale. And then lowering and rolling out the wrists. Okay. And once again, we're going to come back, and this time we have reverse plank. If you want to bend your knees, go ahead and bend your knees. If you can, extend, point through the toes, breath in, exhale, and lower. Good. Half spinal twist. Right leg is over the other. If you need to modify your lower leg, your left leg is straightened. Right leg on top, left arm up in the air. Opposite elbow to opposite knee, and you'll twist. I'm going to grab my notes. So yeah, I had these notes. I'm glad I got them. This idea of winter solstice time, we're not quite at the solstice, but it's a good time to start to activate your intentions for the new year, because we're still like in that contemplative mode, thinking about this year. What a year. And then kind of starting already to think about what are the intentions I'd like to set. So let's extend, and we'll do the other side. So left leg over the other. There's something that a friend sent me, so silly, but it really is silly, but it was funny. So right elbow, cross knee, and it's this silly commercial, like, and it has the character Satan, and it's like for a dating company. Anyway, so he meets this person, and they're getting along really well, and they're looking at this past year, and he says, I really hate to see this year end. It was kind of funny. You have to see it. But it's like, God, I hate to see this year come to an end. Who says that, right? Breathe in. Exhale. And releasing, and then you'll stretch out your legs. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll just kind of, a lot of times we're on our backs for the warm up. So we'll just kind of, work from hands and knees. I'm going to have my knee padding, and we're going to be on hands and knees, cat cow. That's like how we'll do our warm up, right? So rounding, inhale, arch, and round, inhale, arch, and round, arch. And let's take the knees just slightly wider, shift back to child's pose. Arms reach forward, head down, and you get this great opportunity to stretch into your back. Good. All right, there's our group. Big group. Hi, everyone. And then let's go ahead and come back onto the hands and knees. And we're going to do, I think, knee to nose, which, of course, is tiger. So knee in and knee comes up. Like take your leg up as high as you can, point the toe, keep the knee bent, and then bring your knee in. So that's more of a stretch. When you take your leg up, well, you're using your glutes to do the lifting. See if you can lift just a little more, Willow. There you go. And then pulling in. I think that's Willow. Maybe not. And then, yeah, it is. And reaching up. Good. And then release. So we do the other side. If your wrists don't like this, you can always come up on your fists, okay? So bring your knee in and knee coming up. So what might stop us? You might say, I'm not getting my leg up very high. You're using your glutes, but you're also stretching the hip flexor. So it's both a stretch and a strength. Pull in and lift. Look ahead of you. You should feel like your back is arching, and then pull in. Okay. Same kind of idea from downward facing dog. Okay. So you're going to spread through the hands, press back, and pedal. First, get used to being in downward facing dog and being with the intensity of the pose. I think that it can be intense, especially if your legs are perpetually tight. Speaking for myself, they're open, relatively open, but I always feel a deep stretch in this pose. So now I'm going to bring my feet a little closer together, and the right leg comes up into the air, and then bend your knee and send your knee to nose or knee to forehead. Shift your arms forward, so shoulders over wrists, and then bring your leg back and extend, like feels like the splits, and then pull the knee in, knee to nose, and back, extend, pelvis is squared, and then forward again. Bring your knee towards your nose. Good. And, I'm going to just say, let's rest it out. And the reason being, I don't want you to tire. I want you to put just as much into the second side. So walk over to the right, take hold of your left wrist, and lower your head. And I will say, I'm thinking about that poem still, The Gift, A Gift. And I feel like your gift of caring and your strength has been pretty amazing, all of you. It's just pretty amazing. It's been a really rough time. It continues to be, and with the ups and downs. But anyways, I really feel your strength and your caring. Thank you. Let's walk across the other way and grabbing hold of your wrist and stretching side and breathing in. Exhale. Wonderful stretch. And back to center. Okay, we have a second side. So we curl toes under, we shift back, and there it is, downward facing dog. Some like to raise both heels and lower, nice stretch. And we're going to start the left leg up into the air and knee to nose or something like that. And you're going to shift your weight forward. So you're kind of stacking all your weight over your hands, and then leg comes back, shift your weight back, three-legged dog, and then shift your weight forward as you bring knee towards nose. And then last one, leg comes up and knee comes forward. Good work. And then back. And you know what? We're just going to do it again. So you can go wide this time. Maybe you can go into frog, hip to heel. Maybe you can go there, and your forehead is down. And just take a moment so your wrists can relax. So we're going to make our way to warrior one. So you could do that from hands and knees, right foot forward, or from downward facing dog. If you're in downward facing dog, your right leg swings up, you look at your hands, and you swing your right foot forward, okay? Back heel is down, and you're going to reach on up. So again, I'm thinking poses for winter solstice, and these are, they're always powerful, right? Warriors are very powerful. Breathe in, exhale. So we're going to straighten the legs and bend. You can take your back heel up. You're going to straighten your right leg, keep looking forward, and bend. Back heel can come up. One more. Straighten, inhaling and exhaling, and the back heel will come up. And then twist, this is my right leg, twist towards your right. So it's a twist. So some like to press so you get more leverage, or arms extended, and my palms are facing the screen. Bending, breathing in, exhale. And then we'll add the twist, left hand down, right arm comes up, and breathe. You could look up at your thumb or look straight ahead of you. Yeah, that's a great one. And then we come up again. Now this time, straighten your right leg, bring your back heel down, make sure it's down. Hands are behind you. You know, they call this the humble warrior. I don't know, that's what I've heard it called. Bending the knees, clasping hands, look up, and then you bring your right shoulder to the inside right knee, lower your head, top of the head looking to the floor, arms reaching up, and breathe. Beautiful. Come on up. So now we're going to shift on back, downward facing dog. Press back, stretching. You could come to plank or come to upward facing dog, knees up or knees down, and arch. And once again, child's pose. You could release your wrists for a moment. Forehead down. Back is nice and stretched. And we have another side. So when you come to the side, remember you can do this from hands and knees, left foot comes forward, or from downward facing dog. And it'll be your left leg swings up in the air, look at your hands, and swing the foot forward. Warrior one, back heel is initially down, and reach the arms up. Try to get your pelvis squared, reaching, and breathe. I will make sure, sorry, I think I'm wait, hopefully you can see me. Yeah. All right. Okay, and then we'll make that up and down movement. Sorry, up and down movement. There we go. I have to think about where I was. So the back heel comes up. You straighten and you bend. And again, you straighten. It's much easier to do when the heel is up, the back heel's up and down. And again, up and down. And you keep your heel up. You're going to take your arms like a T position and you turn left. So it's much easier if you could push getting into your twist. More challenging to have the arms extended because you have to use obliques for the twist. Legs are steady. Breath in. And then right hand comes down. And you have a twist. Left arm up in the air. You're facing your left bent knee. Breathe in. Exhale. Try to get into the left outside hip. Lower. Back heel will come down. Humble warrior. So we clasp hands behind the back, look up, arch, and maybe humble because you're bowing. You're bringing your left shoulder to the inside knee, lowering your head, top of the head looking down, eyes looking at your back foot, and breathe. Release the back of your neck. Nice breath in. Exhale. And normally, we might come back, but this time we're going to step to the front of the mat. So we just finished one circuit, like one little circular movement of asanas. There you are in a forward bend, hands to elbows, knees can be soft, and breathe. And then come on up. All right. So on this one, it's pyramid, and I think the blanket gets into the way, okay? So right, and you may want your blocks for pyramid, just kind of depends on you. Now I'm looking at my notes there. Okay, pyramid. So right foot forward, left foot back. You could, I guess what I'm thinking is when you come forward, you might say, oh, I like my blocks, and it's kind of be up and down a little bit, or you have your hands in Anjali Mudra, which is more classical, right? Of the other is more like a modification. So look up, exhale, come forward. We're going to go up and down 3 times, but slowly. So if you're using blocks, you're probably reaching for them by now, or you're bringing your head to your knee. Eyes are open, and you're lengthening and looking up. Arch. Exhale, come forward like you're folding over a bar. Imagine the bar is right at your pelvis, and you're folding forward. And up. Extending. And last one. Folding. Stretching. And from here, if you wanted, again, hands on blocks or hands, some of you are bringing your hands to the mat, extending your back. Breathe in. Exhale. We're going to bring the hands on the back as you come up, and then heels turned in, toes turned out, and we drop down. We're going to extend the arms. And yeah, at first it's all strength, right? Holding. But then your right wrist comes over the other. I'll move this so you can see my feet. And the hands come down. Fingertips, not palms, fingertips down. You just cross. And if you can, you're going to try to have a 90-degree bend at the knees, and your heels come up. Your heels come up. So you're going to lower your head, separate your hands even more. So you get this crisscross now, maybe at your upper body, upper arms. Breathe in, exhale, and then lower. Your legs are saying, what happened? Reach up and hands to heart. We do second side. If you need your blocks, bring them with you. And I'm going to bring my feet a little closer in. Left leg is leading. Hands could be behind the back, or your arms are just going up, down, or your hands are in Anjali Mudra. And look up. Exhale, slowly come forward. You ideally left leg is straight and you might have to bend. You can see there's an element of balance too. Knee to nose and then press on up. Exhale, let's do the last two with the breathing. Exhale forward. And coming up. Exhale forward. This third time, and we can bring our hands down either on your blocks or on the mat and pause. And then come up. And we're going to check that out again. So you come to, now, I have to make sure my legs are my heels right underneath my knees. Like I really don't want that, like where the knee comes over, and I don't want to not have the support. So, and then you're going to take your arms out to the side. Now it's your left wrist over the other. Your hands are going to come down. So you just reversed. And if you can, your heels will come up. So the ball of the foot is down, the heels are up, you drop down, and you're going to walk your hands a little further apart and lower your head. You can look at the floor or look to the wall behind you. I tend to look at the floor for balance. My hands are helping me to balance. One more breath. Inhale. Ooh, and press. Press up. Good. First side again. Turn, and it's a low lunge, so we can just stretch into the hip flexor. Drop down, blocks might come in handy or maybe not, okay? Breathe in. This is when you want two sets of blocks. Breathe in. Exhale. Walk across. Second side. Low lunge. Breathing in. Exhale. So we'll go ahead and walk to the, to one end of the mat and make your way up. So arrange yourself so you can still see, the mat. So we're going to, we'll just be facing one end of the mat and clasping hands. Clasp hands, tuck shoulders closer in together, look up, feet are together, bend the knees, drop down, and straighten the legs. Feel like your hands are moving further and further from your back. Bend the knees. When you bend the knees, you're going to bring your right knee up and hug knee to chest. And then the right leg is going to go back. So you're going to reach. Maybe you're like, oh my gosh, the hamstrings. Oh boy, she's sneaking in the hamstrings. So having blocks or not, so you're just stretching out through your straight leg up in the air, really stretched. And then take your knee down, your foot down, sorry. And this time kind of like your elbows are tucking in, and you're going to squeeze them back, look up, hands are spread wide, look up, and open it out to warrior two. So you can see me going a little wider. Breathe in, looking past your leading hand, past your left arm, and breathe. You can see me checking out the notes because I want to make sure I get the sequence just right. Breathe in. Exhale. And breath in. And then you're going back. So this is called the warrior two. And when you go back, it's reverse warrior, not revolved. Revolved is a twist. Reverse warrior is a side bend movement. Make sure you have a nice deep bend in your left knee. Breathing in. Exhale. Straighten. And then we'll come to our horse again. So this is a little different, right? So heels turned in. And exhale through your mouth. Breathe in. Exhale. Good. Pressing up. We could, go to the other end of the mat, or I'll just come to that first place again. So here we are. And the only difference is I'll be turning my back to the screen. So hands clasped behind the back, roll the shoulders back, look up, lengthen, bend the knees. Your feet are together. Come to your forward fold and straighten. Yep, straightening your legs, hands moving up overhead. Breathe in. Exhale. I'm going to start to come up. And when you come up, you're going to bring your left leg up and hug your knee to chest. Look straight ahead of you, balance. Bend at your elbows, shoulders relaxed, biceps engaged. And then your left leg's going to move back, and you're going to reach for the mat, reach for the floor, extend, pushing out through the back heel. If this is too much for you, use blocks, bend your standing leg, that's fine. Breathe in. Exhale. And then from here, you're going to come up and step your foot back. So we've got warrior two. You're going to, go to warrior, do this one. So you draw your elbows in, look forward again, and look up. Breathe. This is just a way to really squeeze your shoulder blades together, open across chest, and then extend. I'm adjusting my feet. Warrior two. Strong arms, strong legs, and your breathing is steady. Reverse, where left hand is down, right arm is up. You're going to try to bring your arm as far back. A lot of people let go of the bend in the knee. Keep the bend in the knee. Reach back and breathe. Really strong here. And then we're going to step once again to the front of the mat. And this time we're going to take the legs wide. Modify your squat if you need to. You're being mindful of your hip joints and your knee joints, and some of you can go pretty deeply. And the way we've worked, you're like, oh, I love this. This is like opening. Breath in. Exhale. That's so interesting. Okay. And then pressing up. So what's interesting is the legs, that's a lot of leg work. And when you finally come to your squat, and it just feels like exactly what your body was wanting. So this next pose, kind of like 3 in there, just so you can see it, using blocks is helpful. So think warrior 3, fold in. Your blocks can be kind of wide, and half moon. Hold, fold in, extend, and open it out. So if you're like, I can't do that, you can use a wall. Okay, let me show how a wall works. Because it's kind of intense. You could just be by a wall, but I know, who has a wall space at home, right? So you're folding in, you're extending, and then you have a wall to hang onto, and then you come over and you fold in. Okay, I'm going to do it without blocks. Okay, fold in, extend, open it out. I don't know how many you've done. I was hoping to do 2 more. Hand down, leg, heel to nose or knee to nose, and then extend and open it out. Ooh, those look really good. You guys are really strong. Bring your hand in. It's a lot of hip strength. My hip's going, what is going on here? And extend And then bring your feet together and start building Utkatasana, chair pose. So you're dropping down. And even this, of course, if you're on a wall, it's fine. You know, the wall's not going to be in your way. Breath in. Exhale. Push. And lift. And hands to heart center. Good. Okay. So we have a whole other side. And so I'm hoping you really do feel Hatha. These are poses that really get, you know, they're deep. It's deep work. Okay. So we're going to do second side. So I'll turn around. Yeah. Blocks or no blocks. Okay. So I'm going to bend, coming over. The first time around, I'll probably use a block. Extending and then opening it out, half moon. And then bringing my hand down and bringing the knee to nose, rounding the back. Extend, open it out. Yeah, so being against the wall is going to help you greatly if balance is an issue. And I bend my standing leg. I bring my knee towards nose. Last one. Extend. Stretch. If you feel like you did more on the other side, you have to do more on this side. You have to even it out. And come out. Knee to nose. And then feet are down together. Both feet on the mat. Bend the knees. And build Utkatasana. Extending the arms. Breath in. Exhale. Come a little closer, breathing in, a little deeper. And then push, lift up, arch back, and hands to heart center. Pausing for a moment in mountain. Just take a moment here to breathe. Stillness. So it feels like, you know, I think it's not just me, but you can feel your heart, you know, really having to work, right? It's like really having to work. So we're going to do our eagle, and then we'll do like a little hybrid pose. Okay, so starting out with eagle, let's say you bend both knees, your right leg over the other, your left arm over the other. Everything's wrapping tightly together. And breathe. Inhale. Let's unwind, extending the arms, lowering the arms, bend the knees, left leg over the other, right arm over the other, and breathe. Exhale. And unwind. And bringing the arms down. Good. So we have the hybrid from Warrior One. So I would say, let's go ahead and take right foot back. And back heel could be up or down. I don't know, maybe I'll have my heel up this time. Arms are at a T position. Since it's your left leg forward, your right arm is on top of the other. Take the elbows, squeeze them together and lift them up. Maybe it's better to have the heel down because you're going to put a little more weight into your back leg. Sharpen the bend in your left knee. And then release and step forward. Hands are to heart center. Breath in. Exhale. So now, by now, you're kind of like, okay, there's definitely a rhythm here. Left foot's going to come back. Remember, I found the heel up, what didn't work so well when I wanted to go back. So the heel's going to be down. Arms out at a T. This time it's your left arm over the other. Wrap, wrap. Bring your elbows upward. Palms are together. Breathe in. Exhale. You're a warrior, eagle, and eagle, warrior. Can you sharpen the bend in the right knee a little more, the angle? And then release and step forward. So clasp your hands behind your head and really gently, like let's say 2% of your strength. That's not going to be much. Push your hands are pushing your head down, and then your head gently, 2% of your strength, not much, pushing your head back into your hands. And breathe. Good. And then release. Dancer. Okay. Dancer's pose. So I would say, why not? First time around, use a wall or maybe at the side of a chair, something you want to hang on to. I have a ledge here that I can hang on to, but let's see. I just turned it more towards this wall, so I'll go more towards that wall. Every once in a while, you see people walking out there. That's the parking lot. That's the back door, actually. And so here we go. I'm going to reach. I'm going to hold. The further I am from the wall, the more of a stretch. We'll do this twice. And you're walking your hand up the wall, breathing, stretching your quads. And then coming out. And hands to heart center. Second side. Taking hold of your legs. So for some, that's it, the quad stretch, upright. And others are reaching forward and kicking your leg back, stretching the quad, stretching your hip flexor. Breath in. Exhale. And release. And hands are to heart center. Yeah, those are great. So in the middle of the room, maybe you're like, I think I'll be hanging on to the back edge of the sofa again. And you have choices. Some of you will be holding your foot and it'll kind of look like you're going to drop down to a half moon, where you're up and then maybe you're going to reach. Okay, so have your blocks handy if you want to approach that. Let's do first side, left hand, left foot. Reaching up. And coming forward. Kicking the leg back. And maybe even reaching to a block. Some reach to the mat. And some open it out. It's almost like dancer, half moon, grabbing leg. Now, bend your knee. You're going to come to a kneeling position. And we're going to come back to half spinal twist. So if that bothers your knee, you might say, oh, I can go there, but I have to straighten the leg. Okay. Left arm up in the air. Breathe in. Exhale. Elbow to knee and look back. So I think that these are sort of dynamic because you can think of light, what we really need right now, like we're really craving a little more light. Light and heat go together. And so we try to ignite some heat in our body so we can, bring in a little more light. Come out, Now you're going to twist. My back's going to be to you. And you're coming to, you're twisting now to the left. You're going to come to plank. So it could be that you're like, oh boy, here we go. Left knee down. And there you go, your modified side plank. Or maybe you'll extend both legs, feet scissored or feet stacked, and breathe. Inhale. Exhale. You can also take your arm up over ear. Breathing in. Exhale, and then coming down, crossing your legs, taking a moment, breathe in. Exhale, so we come to downward facing dog as that transition. So you could use your hands to help yourself forward. Maybe you have a better way. Okay. And all the way back, downward facing dog. Stretch, release. Look at your hands, walk or spring forward. Straightening the legs, forward fold. Soften the knees, come on up. Swing the arms out to the sides and up. Have blocks handy in case you'll need them later. So we start out, right hand, right foot, left arm could be up, or you could kick, arching the back. A regular half moon is another way, of course, or you're bending your standing leg, you're reaching down for block or not, and you're going to open it out. At this point, you can let go. You might say, oh, half moon, or you're in this hybrid pose. There's a lot of hybrid poses in this. Breathe in. Exhale. Now, letting go gently, bring the knee that was in the air, bring it down. It steps behind the other. You can see I'm trying to move slow motion, so why not? So that gives you more control. And you come back. And once here, you'll decide, do I want half spinal twist or do I want my lower knee straightened? Right arm up in the air. Inhale. Hand or elbow across knee, twist, and look back. And then we come out. And now you have your side plank. You're turning to your right, and you're going to see what works for you, modified or not, and do what you did on the first side. Breath in. Exhale. And again, breath in. Exhale. Now we come down, come to sitting, and just roll out the wrists. Take a moment as you sit in easy pose, Sukhasana. It's just called easy pose. Nothing fancy about it. Maybe you have to sit on a block. Breathe in. Exhale. So present. Feel your work. Breathing in. Exhale. We're going to come to our backs, and we have a nice twist. You'll be so happy to come on your backs. First, pull knees into chest. It's a little different from how we normally work. I mean, just really keeping, looping some different kinds of movements together, some hybrid movements, and keeping you warm. And then you're going to take both knees across to the left, both knees coming over to the left and stretching out your right arm. I know some like to take the arm up overhead. That's fine. If the arm is out at a T, you get more of a pectoral stretch, and that's nice for posture. Some of you could extend your legs, in which case you're reaching your fingers towards your big toes, and breathe. Soften the knees. You have to bend the knees before coming back because otherwise it's too strenuous on the back, I think. And you come across because it's such a stretch. And then how can you expect your muscles to snap to right away, right? So it's such a deep stretch that you want to be kind of cautious coming out, like you keep in mind that you have stretched these muscles and it's going to take a little more effort to contract right away, right? So grab hold if you can, extending your legs, looking over to your left shoulder down, and breathe. So your feet won't be aligned, not perfectly aligned. And then again, you're going to bend the knees like you're retracting before you come back to center. And then once you come to center, let's go ahead and do a little windshield wiper movement so your feet are wide. And boy, does that feel easy, going side to side, side to side. And just let your lower back completely relax. So we have a shoulder stand cycle, and I would say you know how to work. I'm going to say if you're taking legs up in the air, use a block under you. If you're not leaving the ground, if you're doing modified form, and whether modified or not, let's go ahead and let's bind our legs together because it's kind of cool. So you're going to bring a strap if you have one and just loop it and tighten it. So if you have a block underneath you, well, that's really nice. You hardly have to work to keep your legs together. But if you're coming to shoulder stand, your legs will still stay together. You use your hands and you use your legs as a unit to come up. So that's like half shoulder stand and Sarvangasana. Maybe you can bring your elbows closer together. This one is so great for the immune system. And breathe. So it's kind of nice. With the strap, I can really press against the strap and it just gives my legs more integrity. I don't have to point. I don't have to flex. I'm just keeping my feet together. Good. Now, depends on you. If you're on a block, you haven't come up, you could always lower your legs and bring your hands to your shin bones. If you're in shoulder stand, you could do that. Or you're bringing your legs back into plow, feet reaching for the floor and stretching your back. And breathe. To come out, you bend your knees. Come out slowly. It's very interesting having legs bound together because they work as a unit. They actually work better as a unit. And then, well, I'm going to do fish, but you know what? I'm going to keep the strap in. I don't usually do that, but I'm going to. So you're pulling knees in because then you'll really feel like you've got like a fish body, a mermaid or a merman body. So you've got your legs together, toes are pointed, and you slip your hands underneath. And then already I'm arched and I'm going to lift, I'm going to tilt my head back, but I need my head to touch down. So I lower my head Um, and I have to like kind of my feet move as I go there. Breathe in. Exhale. If this is not working for your neck, use a rolled blanket or bolster or block, ball. Breathe in. Let your mouth be open, eyes open. Mouth is just slightly ajar, right? Lift. Lower your head. Free your hands. Draw knees in. Take the loop out. It should not be hard to take the loop out, I hope. I hope you don't get stuck because I'm not there to help you. And then bring your knees in. That's supposed to be funny. Okay. And then draw in and breathe. And then stretching the legs out and take a moment. Take your hands under your neck. Scoop your head up, kind of like you're scooping your head up. Just bring your chin towards chest. So your hands are doing the work. Your head is going to now push down into your hands. Your hands scooping up, simultaneously your head moving down into your hands, and you get a nice neck stretch, I hope, and elongation, and then lower. And I want you to be very comfortable in Shavasana the last 5 minutes of the session. You work deeply and you rest deeply. The two go hand in hand. And I love what I saw on screen. I like how I saw you working. And notice your mind. The mind is very quiet. This is one of the gifts. Remember Denise Levertov's gift? And sometimes, the best gifts, maybe always, I don't know, the best gifts go beyond monetary value, like the gift of serenity, the gift of stillness, of peace of mind right now is yours. I will read the poem A Gift by Denise Levertov. It's from 1998. Just when you seem to yourself nothing but a flimsy web of questions, you are given the questions of others to hold in the emptiness of your hands. Songbird eggs that can still hatch if you keep them warm. Butterflies opening and closing themselves in your cupped palms, trusting you not to injure their scintillant fur, their dust. You are given the questions of others as if they were answers to all you ask. Yes, perhaps this gift is your answer. Continue to follow your breathing. I'm going to have you just slowly start to move your hands and your feet. And start to deepen your breath, become more involved with your breathing. And then as you are ready, you'll roll to one side and make your way to sitting. And you can unmute yourself